The frustration for Campbell is if he just catches it cleanly, he's got Cimini dead to rights way off of first base. Here's a swing and a fly ball left field. Honeyman at the track, at the wall. It's a second homer for the Eagles. After an opportunity to escape the inning with a double play goes by the board, Boston College capitalizes immediately, and they've got a 3-0 lead. 1-0 Boston College, top 15 team in the country, taking on Georgia Tech in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Be sure to catch the next episode of Bird Ball tomorrow night at 8:30 on NESN. For those in the local viewing area, go behind the scenes with the fast-rising BC baseball team as they head south for early season action. You'll be on the field and in the dugout as the Eagles pull off one of the most exciting upsets in program history over number 2 ranked Tennessee, plus the team tours Bristol Motor Speedway. Then takes 2 of 3 from Virginia Tech in their first ACC action of the year. It's all coming up tomorrow night, 8:30 on NESN. First pitch breaking ball to Adonis Guzman. 8-9-1 due up for the Eagles here in the 5th inning, still against the starter Jackson Finley. Fouled off, 0-2.
So it's interesting how we've kind of settled into this game. Just the one run, the Cimini homer. I think this weekend has maybe played out a bit differently than you might have expected coming in, just based on the offensive numbers of Georgia Tech and even some of the bigger offensive performances that we've seen from Boston College. But it's really been a pitcher-dominated weekend so far, and no different today.
We'll make sure we pull the audio, but a couple innings ago you did say this isn't a game that will end 1-0. And
you know, you wouldn't think.
Step by step, getting closer. 2-2. Guzman fouls it off of his lower half.
Even if it does, I would still defend the decision not to bunt in that particular spot.
That win over Tennessee or Boston College earlier this year, back when they were number 2 in the country. Tennessee is still a top 10 team. They're taking on number 1 LSU in a critical FCC matchup this weekend. The pitch misses outside. LSU took the first 2 games over number 10 Tennessee. Tigers are bona fide national championship contenders, that's for sure. Hard ground ball down to third base, and Romano guns across. Guzman is gone. 4 1/3 so far from Jackson Finley.
Well, here's the starters today. Chris Flynn for Boston College, Jackson Finley for Georgia Tech. And the strikeout numbers certainly jump out on both. The lack of hits, the lack of stringing together hits as well. Boston College 3 hits in this game. They have not come in the same inning. Georgia Tech 4 hits. No more than 1 in the same inning. There's Aiden Finateri in the bullpen for Georgia Tech.
Baseball will get handed off from one mustached right-hander to another. Finley ahead in the count. A swing and a poke to right field by Cimini. He's had the number of Jackson Finley, and he's a 1-out base runner. A home run, a single, 1-out base runner here in the 5th.
Really good job. I mean, reaching for that ball, going the other way with it. It's really a great game, and whatever the reason, I mean, you don't want to put more on something than it is. I think that sometimes we're guilty of doing outside looking in, but a little bit of a different spot in the order for whatever reason. At the 9-hole today, Cimini's taken advantage of the opportunities.
It's been the perfect table setting for a guy in Barry Walsh, but he's 0 for 2. Cimini has half of the hits today for Boston College, 2 of the team's 4. And there he bluffs at first. Minnick pops up ready to gun down to second base. Cimini goes back in a cloud of dust over to first.
Yeah, you'll see a great look at it here. He just kind of goes and stops, and then challenging Minnick, who decided to hold on.
Here's the 2-0, swing and a miss. And there are two schools of thought with that. Either Cimini was really going to take off and didn't love his jump and put the kibosh on it, or it was just to put the nugget in the back of everybody for Georgia Tech. The catcher, the infielders, the pitcher thinking, okay, this guy has it in his mind that he could take off in this exchange. We're live at the suddenly sun-splashed Harrington Athletics Village here in Brighton. Alongside Eric Galanti, Adam Giardino with you. Most beautiful look we've had of this place this whole weekend.
Yeah, there's been so many games, hard to believe it's just the second home weekend of the year.
Swing and a line drive knocks off the second baseman to Jackson. The throw to first. The out at second goes 4-6. And a fielder's choice allows Walsh to reach on what could have been one of the more unusual double plays of the season.
I mean, just like you drew it up, right? I mean, you almost couldn't have flipped the ball to a better spot where it ended up. And the only point of concern would be, did it catch Campbell in an odd area and kind of risk an injury? But it seems like he's okay. So, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, I think the frustration for Campbell is if he just catches it cleanly, he's got Cimini dead to rights way off of first base. There's a swing and a fly ball left field. Honeyman at the track, at the wall. It's a second homer for the Eagles. After an opportunity to escape the inning with a double play goes by the board, Boston College capitalizes immediately, and they've got a 3-0 lead.
Well, Travis Honeyman with his third home run of the season, and he goes after the first pitch and attacks. And it's not a horrible spot. It's a slider down and away. Maybe didn't get quite as far down as Jackson Finley would have liked, but Honeyman aggressive off the jump. And just as you said, it's amazing how, in baseball sometimes something that, feels like a kind of funny play that ends up bouncing, turns out to be, in the course of the game, very significant. And as you said, the lack of a double play gives life. And the theme of this weekend has been 2-out runs. Both ways, Boston College, 2 big ones in the last of the 5th.
A little bit of breathing room for Chris Flynn should he come out with an elevated pitch count to begin the 6th inning.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting here. We haven't had a chance to have this discussion yet. So Flynn's at 91 pitches. There is no one up in the Boston College bullpen. His season high is 101, which he threw last time out, or 2 starts ago, I should say, at Florida State, back on March 18th. He threw 83 last time out. So he's been right around this number most of the year. So, maybe you're pushing him a little bit if it ends up in a long inning.
We get a ground ball, nice stab down by Despina, who goes to get it and picks up the 3rd out here in the 5th inning. A 2-run bomb from Travis Honeyman had Boston College up 3-0. A little life, extra life for the Eagles. A comeback that fell just short yesterday for the Boston College Eagles on their home turf. A 5-4 victory for Georgia Tech. The first 5 runs of the game, all with 2 outs. The Eagles scored the final 4, but left critical runners on as the game came to a close. And here we are today, Game 2. An adjusted start time with weather in the forecast. Boston College getting ready to host Georgia Tech. Hey, everybody. I'm Adam Giardino alongside Eric Galanti. And Eric, these two teams saddle up for Game 2 here today. And the storyline, the pitching. Jackson Finley gets the ball for Georgia Tech. not only one of the team's best hitters, but now he's their Saturday starter as well.
Yeah, and he was important in the game yesterday for Georgia Tech with his offense, and he'll be on the mound today. Got off to a really good start to this season. He's been hit around a little bit more over his last couple of outings, but that's of course no surprise when you talk about moving into ACC play. And it's a similar story for Chris Flynn, who really got off an 0.91 ERA through all of his outing going into his last appearance against NC State. Roughed up a little bit late in that game, so a chance to bounce back a little bit for two of the league's best.